Hi, I'm Toby, I'm 35, and about 3 weeks ago somebody took out my liver and put in a new one. Hi guys, another quick update. Lovely day it is today, so I thought I'd do an update outside. Hopefully not contravening the restrictions I've had put in place around not being in the sun. Unfortunately, due to the medications on post-transplant, apparently they make you more susceptible, or your skin weaker and make you more susceptible to things like skin cancers. So the advice I was given was, if you want to go out in the sun, that's not a problem. Just slap on the factor 50, slap it on a lot thicker than you've ever put it on before, go out with an umbrella that you can hide underneath, and actually just don't go out and stay indoors. So yeah, I've got my factor 50 on. I'm actually in direct sunlight at the moment, but I'm not going to be here for long. And enjoying the sunlight and enjoying being outside, because I've spent obviously a lot of time trapped indoors. So people are asking, how am I doing now, a few weeks post-transplant? I'm actually doing really well, and a lot of the time you can't notice that I've just had a transplant. A few minor symptoms. Sometimes I have problems with breathing, so taking a deep breath, as you can tell, gets a little bit strained and painful, particularly on my right side. I definitely have a smaller appetite than I had before, and I get a little bit queasy sometimes after eating. Obviously I have a rather gorgeous scar straight down my chest and across my abdomen. I have my drainage bag still. And isn't that attractive? And yes, I have to wear that all the time. So even when I go out, I've got this bag hanging off me, which does not make me self-conscious in the slightest. And like I said before, the real thing is my energy levels, up and down like a yo-yo. So I can feel great at one moment, and then just get up and make and eat breakfast or something like that, and then suddenly I'm wiped out for the rest of the day. So my energy levels are definitely peaking a lot higher than they have done in a long time. I just need to build up kind of the stamina, and I've not been able to do much over the past couple of days, but I've got a feeling next week is going to be quite busy. So today I wanted to give you some tales from the ward, and this is one that I call Cannula Chaos, and this is the story of how I completely wrecked the ward that we were in. So now, one of the things I have to warn you, if you ever go in for, if you have any issues with, shall we say, biological functions, the liver ward is not where you want to be. So if you've got any issues with hearing, smelling, seeing, large amounts of flatulence, diarrhea, bleeding, vomiting, burping, anything like that, if that kind of thing bothers you, it's not the place to be. Because to be honest, when you're on that ward, all of those things, well, not so much the diarrhea and bleeding, but burping, farting, and passing fluids and solids, are actually all signs of health, because that means your digestive system is working, and if you're post-op, that means that things are starting to pick up, because when you first come out of the operation, everything's kind of shut down, and it takes a while for it to kind of crank back up again and start working. So yes, be warned of that, and be warned that this story does involve some of that. So it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm lying there unable to sleep again, and I hear somebody get up and go to the bathroom. Now, where my part of the ward was, this little square area that's cordoned off with a curtain, was actually right next to the bathroom. So whenever anyone went to the toilet, I could hear it, because I had to go and turn the light on right next to me and things. It wasn't that much of a bother, because to be honest, I wasn't sleeping anyway. But about 10 seconds after this person left the bathroom, I was hit by such an incredible smell that I basically thought at 3 o'clock in the morning, oh dear God, I need to get out of here or I'm going to choke to death. So I stand up. Remember, I'm not very stable on my feet at this moment. Not bad, but not as stable as I could be. And I pick up my empty bottle and I think, right, I'm going to go walk around the ward and find somewhere where I can throw this away, and hopefully by the time I get back, everything will be gone. So I make my way out of the ward. It's very quiet everywhere else. I can't even see any nurses around, so they're obviously all sat by the nurse station. And I start walking down one of the corridors of the ward. And just through tremors and butterfingers, I drop the empty bottle and, drop it on the floor, and I think, oh, well, that's stupid. And I bend down to pick it up. And as I bend down, I notice these dots on the floor. And I'm thinking, that looks like blood. My God, there's somebody bled on this floor and they've not even cleaned it up. That's terrible. Now I take a step backwards and there's more. I'm thinking, oh, I must have just walked straight through it and not noticed. I wasn't looking at the floor until I dropped the bottle, so that kind of makes sense. And I bend down to pick up the bottle, and just at that moment, I kind of slipped a bit because I was wearing the socks that aren't as, after you've been wearing them a few days, aren't as sticky as they should be. And at that moment, a nurse happened to be walking past, and she looked over at me, and all she saw was me kind of slipping like this, almost looking like I was going to faint. Must have looked from her perception, with blood gushing down my arm and a puddle forming on the floor around me. As it turned out, the cannula had fallen out. I have no idea how that happened to this moment. And obviously with the cannula falling out, my vein was happily pumping blood down my arm, and that's where the red spots were coming from. And the poor nurse just turned around to see me oozing blood everywhere and pretty much looking like I was going to pass out. So she leaps to my rescue, grabs hold of me as I'm about to not fall over, going, "Oh shit!" And then she looks down and sees all the blood and she kind of goes, "What have you done?" And you could tell from the tone of her voice she was more frustrated than worried. It was kind of a, "Dear God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't need to deal with this." So apologies to that nurse. So I just got bandage over the cannula, went over the wound, went back to bed, held that on until somebody came and bandaged me up properly, and I just sat there feeling guilty until I fell asleep. Next morning, I'm woken up by a strange noise. I look out into the hallway, and they've cordoned off that entire section of the ward, the entire hallway, and they are steam cleaning the floor because I have just bled over everything and contaminated the whole lot. So that caused a lot of chaos on that day, where one of the corridors of the ward couldn't be used at all for about most of the day. I apologise to everyone for that one. It wasn't really my fault, and believe me, if you'd have been sat in that bed when I was, you'd have wanted to get out of there too. But anyway, that's my quick tale from the ward. Sometimes it's a nice quiet night, and sometimes dramatic things happen, either with yourself or with somebody else. And I have to say, cannulas falling out, that happened quite a few times. Either we need better cannula design or we need better patience. Sorry. That's all for now, and I will catch up with you again soon. Thank you very much to everyone who's been messaging me, coming to visit, all of those things. It means a lot. It's kept me high spirits and entertained, so it's absolutely fabulous to see everyone. Also, hello to a few people who I've actually randomly given out my vlog details to. In the hospital, the 2 lovely ladies I met outside the pharmacy. I hope you're feeling better. My friend in the GP surgery. It seems to be a bit of a theme, meeting people in medical places at the moment. I hope you're feeling better as well, and hello to your friend with the kidney issue, and by all means feel free to message me, ask any questions that I may or may not be able to answer for you. Hello to everyone else who's new, and please comment, like and subscribe, particularly comment at the moment so I know that you're here and you're watching, and I will hopefully see you on the next update. Take care. Bye.